Well, a very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen, from wherever you're watching. Well, this is Herman Manyora's YouTube channel, and I'm very glad that you're joining us for yet another interesting episode of the Candy Talk. My name is Evans Okinyi. Now, joining me to help understand and demystify the intrigues of Kenyan politics is none other than renowned scholar, political analyst, commentator, and of course, the first of his name here, Herman Manyora. Prof, how are you?
Wonderful.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Evans.
Prof, it's been quite a while. Where have you been?
Oh, yeah, we've been moving up and down.
We've been moving up and down.
What Kenyans are saying.
Uh-huh.
Collecting views of people firsthand to hear whether they are happy with what's going on in the country.
Okay.
And so on and so forth.
Prof, the time I was outside there in the streets talking to people around the Great Corner here, and a number of your fans, people who actually watch your analysis here, are trying to say that you should also take a part of the blame in Raila's law, saying that you, Prof, lied to us. That's what they're telling us.
No, if it is true, fine. If it is true, I accept and I apologize. If it is true, I doubt that it is true, but if it is true, to make them happy, yes, I apologize. Yes.
Now, there's something that has actually elicited mixed reactions from the public here. The statement that came from one of the UDA members of parliament on lifting the presidential term limit. Prof, let's begin from here. Do you think in the first place that there is more into what the Fafi member of parliament was talking about, or was it just a mere attention seeker?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. The people say nothing in politics happened just for the sake of it. Even this more serious coincidence has been planned. But me, I choose to read nothing into it. To me, it's a small matter.
Could it be
very small matter.
How small, yet it elicited mixed reactions?
It depends on how you look at things. From where I stand, that's a small matter. Yes.
Junet Mohammed said that this is not coincidence, and he said that he's been sent by perhaps one of the top people up there to come and test waters.
Even if he has been sent by Ruto himself, it is still a small matter.
Let's get back to a little bit part of history now that you've been here for quite some time. Why do you think the constitution was changed and this part of the term limit was introduced, and what is the significance of the term limit in terms of governance and leadership in the country?
You know one thing, power is sweet, and nobody wants to leave power. Modern democracies that evolved from kingship, empires and then kingdoms, people thought in a democracy you need to control space and power. So term limit is one attempt at controlling that space and the power. Each country has its own history, its own reasons. America has its own reasons why it came up with term limits. You know, other countries don't have those term limits. For us in this country, it must be remembered that we needed to usher in democracy and this new idea of term limits because dictatorship had been entrained by law and by tradition in some places. In Kenya, one state by law, Section 2A, that made Kenya one-party state. In other countries like Zambia, the president was almost president for life. So the wind of change that was blowing across Africa and some parts of the world was to remove the dictators from power and create a new democratic space through which people could now elect their leaders. So for us, if we didn't go that direction in Africa, Kenneth Kaunda would not have left power. Hastings Kamuzu Banda, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, because they had been entrained and they had come to view power as something you exercise until you die. So we needed to bring in this idea of term limits, which we did in Kenya in the year 1991 and beginning from 1992. So Moi did 92, 97, 97, 2002, and he had to leave. Yeah.
The proposal, okay, see, I was looking at the proposal of the Fafi member of parliament, and he's saying here that when you got a good leader, then perhaps giving him some sort of, or limiting this person to 10 years wouldn't be actually enough for this person, giving an example of, to them, Mwai Kibaki was actually a good president. And they're saying that Kibaki found us in the trenches. And if you look at what he did with the 10 years that he served here as our president, then you're saying that perhaps if he would have been given much time, then he would have done better. Some people,
that is part of thinking. That's why I'm calling this a small matter. Because people in a democratic country must be allowed to think and to voice their opinion and try them out. That's what democracy is about. So if somebody feels the one-party dictatorship is not a good thing, and we are, the term limit is not a good thing, that's very healthy. I find it is healthy. It's a healthy discussion we can have. It's a conversation we can have. And by the way, we are not the first people to have that conversation. It has been there in Nigeria in terms of even the states. Not all states in Nigeria, even in America, agree with that idea of term limits. Even in America itself, I tweeted yesterday or the other day, so even in America, that conversation has been held for a long time. And when Ronald Reagan, one of the greatest of American presidents, Americans also like just people who show, not necessarily they are good. Reagan himself said it when he was living. He said, this thing of term limits, Americans might be forced to look at it because it can deny you a great leader. So Fafi MP to me, in fact, we should bring him on our show here. No, he's doing a good thing. Let Kenyans talk. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, it's a discussion we can have. Yeah.
He was saying, in fact, he was saying that this is not actually his, okay, he's saying that there already there is that kind of process of some UDA, a cohort of UDA members of parliament who want to craft that bill.
It's good.
They want
I have no
to
problem
take
with
it to
it.
parliament.
Let them remove term limits if they have the power. If they can convince Kenyans in a referendum, why not? At the end of the day, a democracy means the people will have to decide. See what on a shida gani na hii kitu. Me, I don't see where the problem is.
No, there is this aspect of it that
in fact, Evans, term limit is an affront on human rights, on our constitutional rights. Kenyans may want a president to go for 30 years. Why do you want to stop them? Is there a right to want somebody to rule for 30 years? Why do you want to curtail that right? By some law. That provision is safe and constitutional. Term limit and constitutional. Why? So the Constitution says we should exercise our liberties. If I want Ruto to go for 30 years, what's wrong with that?
Now on that same very note, Prof. Right now, if at all, because we know very well that for such kind of stuff to take place, then people have to go to a referendum.
Yes.
Definitely, we have to vote. Now, if at all we were to reach there as a country, what could be your position? Would you vote for?
I'll vote for. If we must change. I don't support it in the manner in which someone might think I support it. The only thing, I don't even see what it serves. It has no purpose, if you ask me. What's the purpose of the term limit?
People are saying that perhaps
it has no purpose.
Its main purpose here, people are saying, okay, Kenyans are always we do not want some sort of a life presidency or perennial presidency. That is it. And even we saw that
that's superfluous. We saw
that before when the debate about dynasty ruling Kenya for how long was being here by Ruto at that particular time. Of course, right now they're not there. But then, why wouldn't Kenyans are asking, why wouldn't somebody just have the 10 years and leave? Because it's not like
it's
every
irrelevant. Let me show you why. We needed multipartism. We needed term limits so that we could get rid of dictators who are life presidents. And we needed that struggle, that fight. So we achieved. Moi left, Kaunda left, Hastings left. Those are the ones I can remember quickly. And others. We needed it. Now we don't need it. It serves absolutely no purpose.
Don't you therefore think that reintroducing it would help create more dictators in the country?
It serves no purpose. Let me tell you why. And I hope Kenyans don't get me wrong. In a democracy, the people decide the people to rule them by vote. They should have the power to decide how long that person rules them. Look, in the last election, people were given a choice of Raila and Ruto. The people chose Ruto. I'm still trying to find out how that was possible. Okay? So if the same people think Ruto should go for 30 years, who am I to say no? Because, you see, the people elect very useless MCS. They elect crooks, murderers, robbers, buccaneers, all manner of people, rapists. They elect them to parliament. They make them governors. So why do we want to be a lazy country where we think for people by putting term limits? Let the people suffer their consequences. Yeah. If they think a man is fit to rule for 50 years, that is their country. And they have the power to do it. Why do you want to interfere with that power?
No. My question therefore comes about, yes, there is this second segment of it, the one talking about the age limit, because the first member of parliament was saying that let's scrap off the term limit and then replace it with the age limit where somebody cannot vie upon reaching 75
no,
years
that's
old.
targeting.
And of course, a number of Kenyans are saying that...
That's the one which is bad because it's targeting an individual. If you put an age limit, you are interferes with people's liberties, constitutional rights, democratic rights to elect who they want. So you don't impose age limit because then you are restricting my rights to vote for somebody. If I want to vote for Raila and he's 82 and you say 75, you are interfering with my limits. If Ruto has done 10 years and I think he's a good president, and I want him to do another 5, and another 5, and another 5. If you stop me by some provisions in the constitution, you are interfering with my rights. So at the end of the day, what I'm telling Kenyans, this is your country. Yeah.
No, Prof.
Do to it as you may, because this is your country. And all the time you know that no country can move without a leader, without leadership. So if you are not bothered about who you put in power, that is your problem. We should not even bother how long those people stay in power. I don't know why people are fighting. This Fafi man, we must bring him on my show here. He's a good guy.
And of course
he's telling, no, Fafi man is doing to Kenyans what no other politician is doing now. He's opening our eyes. Yes, I want to get that guy. I've never met him. I'm going to look for him. Even if he doesn't come to this show, I want to look for him. He's doing a very good thing.
Oh,
because it's igniting a debate. We need this kind of debates. Do we need term limits? I have always held the view, for example, myself. We don't need this 5 year. I believe a one term of 10 years for me will be better than 5 years. The others who says, as I told you, say 7 years. So people have different views. Let them bring all those views. Let's discuss. That is healthy for the country. So Fafi MP should not be vilified. He's bringing a discussion on the table which is healthy. But he's also challenging Kenyans. Why do you want us to stop you from doing the useless things you do by a provision in the law? No. You must know when you elect somebody what you are doing. And how long he stays there is also your business. If you love your country, look at the MCA you elect. If you love your country, look at the money you are giving governorship. Yeah. If you love your country and your county, look at the people you elect. MPs, MCAs, senators, governors. If you love this country, look at the person you elect for president. We don't need to have a law to help you to think by putting their limit. No, let him be there for 50 years.
Okay, and of course, just on a light note, a number of Kenyans are also saying, okay, perhaps you people bring this on board so that we can have those who loved former President Uhuru Kenyatta are saying that perhaps he may now be
come back,
buy
yeah?
again and
he can buy and win.
And see how
even the people who are saying Uhuru aende, Uhuru nini, if he comes back in 2027, he can win. And then you ask Kenyans now, what kind of fellows are you? That's how it is.
That's how it is.
Let people love their country. There's no better way to love your country than to put in leadership people who will ensure your children and their children find a good place to live in. Yes.
Definitely. Well, of course, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at Herman Manyora's YouTube channel, always on the ground to keep you updated and focused with everything that is taking place. Let's wait and see how far the Fafi Member of Parliament will go with this kind of debate. But as usual, we value your comments and we request that you comment there so that we can actually get to know what you think about what is actually taking place in this country. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a very lovely day. I've been your host, Evans Okinyi.